can help troubleshoot it.
Huh.
And so the good thing about Solar, what I love about Solar, and I'm one of 2 gold level installers in Tennessee. I've only done 10 of them, but I've reached their gold level status, and they trusted me enough because I've done all the different configurations and types. I've done the commercial. We've got all the way up to the 30 kW. I haven't done a 60 kW yet, but I've done 330s in one job, so 90 kilowatt total. All different battery types, and so I've learned a little bit about what works. But his battery, so he doubled his batteries after a little while. Initially, he started with 4 AGMs that were 200 amp hours each. So he had 9.6 kW, kilowatt hours, theoretical for the AGM, but you don't want to drop those below half routinely. So he really only had 5 kilowatt hours usable. And I told him, look, that'll run your fridge through the night and your lights when you turn the TV off, just him in the cabin. Mm-hmm. But I said, don't run air conditioning fans at night or you'll shut down before morning. But he was on a budget. He was very much on a budget. He doesn't have 15,000 in his whole system. Batteries, panels, inverter, 2 days for us to come out and help him, and integrated his generator into it because he's got the 10 kW generator. That's what they sold him. 10 kW generator, and said, here's your power. Yeah. So he got sold a bill of goods. But yeah, I can look for the month what he's produced. The green is the PV. The load is how much his whole house grew. So his fridge, TV, lights, he's not using much. When his daughter moved home, and she's got a second window unit upstairs. He doubled his battery size. He bought 4 more batteries. Yeah. He needs to get more panels if she's going to stay there very long. Yeah. But I think she's moved on now. These folks are down near Savannah. They were a DIY assist. He's got like 12 kilowatts of panels. He's making 8,000 watts right now. Whoa. His house is drawing 5, and the batteries are getting 3, but they're 97% full. But you can see his batteries were full by 11:15 this morning. Yeah. He's got more than enough solar panels. I've got folks in Milan. These folks live on grid, and they're so power stingy amongst themselves. They live off 6.5 kilowatts total of panels. And if you look at how much they have imported from the grid, each of these represent the total load to the panel. They only use 10 kilowatt hours a day.
Gee, what do they run?
Solar has more than nothing. They run lights. They only run the light on the room they're in, and they only turn it on when the sun sets. They'll be in the living room watching TV with nothing else on in the whole house. And they use very little air or heat. And they're gas for water heat and everything.
Do they live where they get money back from the power company?
No. They had a program for that and had me convert it. Oh. He wanted EMP hardened. So I put they don't make an EMP hardened 5K. They make an EMP 8K and they're about $2,000 extra to get the EMP hardened. But he wanted it. He was our first EMP customer. And he is a huge prepper. Yeah. He lives on grid, but they have a freeze dryer.
Nice.
Things that I would love. Some things I'm like, I like freeze dryer ideas.
Lots of bullets.
Store my own food. Oh yeah. Pretty much all my cars have plenty of bullets. You can never have enough bullets. No. When I built the house, so the basement's down there, I had a backhoe put the gun safe in the basement. So big lift strap. Yep. I said, it ain't ever coming out. It's 1,000 pounds empty. And I said, if somebody lifts that out of the basement, they can have it.
You know anybody that's got a good AR style for sale? I don't have that yet.
An
AR style. I mean,
my kids do.
Yeah. I want one. I don't need. I want one.
Go the gun store here in Lexington.
Lexington?
Yeah, right in front of Walmart.
Oh, okay.
They're good people.
Okay, I'll have to remember.
They're good folks.
Right across from Walmart.
I don't know that they'll give the best price per versus.
But across the highway from Walmart in Lexington.
No, it's not. It's on the same road, same side as Walmart.
So it's coming out.
When you're coming into Walmart, there's a little strip on the left.
Right.
There used to be a Dollar Tree.
There's a gun
Oh, I know where
and
that-
stuff.
I didn't know
It's
there
in that
was one.
same mall.
Okay.
I think the vape shop's on the far end,
Okay.
and they're next to the vape
I
shop.
didn't know there was one there. Okay.
I forget the name of it, but
Okay.
they're good folks. I did a gun show. The only gun show I'm going to do is a solar guy.
Yep.
I didn't sell any EMP kits at the gun show. I got to go out a lot of cards, got some leads. But
What
people
about
there
that
for
gun place in Decaturville?
What about it?
You ever been there?
No, I don't think I have.
They're from Pennsylvania.
But yeah, total. Now he imports in the winter, but for 2024, his total imported from the grid, he's imported 244 kilowatt hours the whole year.
Wow.
That's
Now, does he have-
$30 worth of electric.
Does he run like the refrigerator like y'all
Everything.
do, or really?
Everything. Well, what his everything is a fridge, a freezer, his lights, and they're on city water. And so,
TV.
and he has central heat and air that they're very stingy with. Yeah, like if you look at their daily usage, and I hate intruding on people's. You can tell when people do things like they turned a hair dryer or something came on, because like their base load in their house. I look at base load, what's running at 1 o'clock in the morning. They're using 300 watts at that point. But there they were 299, 301. So that's whatever, 200 watts at 4 o'clock in the morning. Something came on at 7:55 and was drawn 25. Sorry, no, that's the sun.
Maybe a water heater.
The PV kicked on. That's weird. Yeah, they started making power, but there's a load surge. There it is. At 7:50, they turned something on that was drawing 7,000 watts.
Whoa.
They got electric clothes dryer.
Yep. That's probably why.
But this is in 5-minute increments. By 7:55, it was back down to 400 watts. Solar power, the green curve was coming up. They've got 7 kW microinverter. Well, they had microinverters. We redid it to string, so there's no microinverters anymore. But he's making 4,000 by 9 o'clock. The blue line is the battery state of charge, so it was up to 100% by 9:55. His battery was full. He's got 15 kilowatt hours of lithium, all FPs.
Yep.
So what's the deal? What are we doing?
I'll order some panels.
I want to get 10 panels.
You don't.
And we'll think about the.
How much
Think
is that
about the
thing?
inverter.
I'm
They're
gonna
expensive.
look at them and read about them.
Yeah, please do, and I'll send you some info.
Okay, but I do want.
You
10
got
panels
his
like
email so you could correspond with
Yeah.
email?
I think so. Yeah, I gave you a
that.
card.
I got his.
You got my card. Just send me an email.
Okay.
It's Ernie.Williams@mainstreamgreensolutions.com. It's a
All right.
long.
Our son is
And
Ernie
you got a
too.
website. You got an Ernie son?
Yeah, I got an Ernie son.
Oh,
I'm this son.
That's right.
Thank you for the
But
water.
yeah, I'd like to get
Thank you
10
for-
panels
thank y'all
from you
for
to
coming.
start with.
Okay.
Let's start with
I'll
that.
get some on order.
And just let us know when and.
It'll probably be a week or two.
Okay.
At least a week.
And that would be,
I
you
don't
said-
ship them fast.
For $2,500, is that what you said?
Yeah, for 2,500. I should go get the same deal I did last time. If I can, so I'll.
Can you take a charge card? Do you use?
Yeah, I
cash
take
on-
Square. I take Square for credit cards. It's a reputable, secure way. My wife works for the bank,
Okay.
and they were taking Zelle. Zelle has got so much fraud.
I don't
we
even know how to do
We
that.
don't do that.
No, you don't want to do Zelle.
I would just give
But
you cash.
Square,
Or we have cash. You
cash
can
would
do
be
that.
great. Cash would be great.
What if they had to a credit card? You can take.
Credit card's 3% fee,
Yeah.
but I'll knock 100 off if it's cash and you're a vet. So
Okay. So 2,400.
2,400. Yeah,
That
for
works.
10 of them.
You want to get four?
Now,
Yes,
let me ask
yes.
you something.
Okay.
If I can find, so if I can find you a little more savings, I've got a client out in Mercer, the
Yeah.
opposite direction, out the other way.
I know where that's at.
He is about to pull the trigger on 5 pallets of panels.
Whoa.
4 to 5.
What kind?
What size?
4 to 5 pallets.
Oh, what
He's
size?
building off grid. Well,
That depends.
so he wants the best deal he can get.
Yeah.
And so if I can, without being Chinese,
Yeah.
and so if I can find something that's not REC that I'm confident in, and like Zian Shine is not one of them, they're Chinese. And Canadian Solar is Chinese.
Well, yeah, I think that may be.
And I'm doing it more for political and national defense reasons,
Right.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
than economic or
Yeah.
anything else.
Right. I
There's
agree
some
too.
Chinese quality panels out there,
Yeah.
but I'm just not going
I
to
don't want to buy from China either. And what gets me is a lot of times I'll buy something on Amazon. It says it's coming from Amazon. Yeah. Then you look.
It's really coming from China. Yeah.
I don't like Amazon. Never did. And
I
I
don't
don't like them.
eBay at
I don't
least
either.
tells you where it's being shipped from, and sometimes it
Yeah.
goes to China and to them. And then
And you can see when it's coming
Yeah,
from China.
I know
Yeah. I've ordered some
Yep.
stuff from China.
What bank does your wife work at?
Community Bank,
Like-
which they don't have one in Parsons yet.
Yeah.
That direction. They may someday.
Yeah, if you can find a better, what you think's a better deal, let me know.
I will,
Okay.
but I'm going to order probably within the next week.
Okay.
So this will give me
That's fine.
give me a chance to put pressure on him
Yeah.
and say, because he told me, he said, I'm closing on a house Tuesday, which was 2 days ago. They moved here from Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy's 43 years old, and he says he's retired.
Wow.
And his wife is younger than he is, and it was when he called me. He said, "I need you to come look at my place for solar power." You know, I normally charge to go out
Right.
and look because I drive all over the country for everybody, and when I
Yeah.
get sticker shock, I get nothing for my driving.
Yep.
I'm like, but I talked to him enough. I was like, I'm gonna go on out there. He moved here. He said, I've already built 2 houses. He said, I have no grid power. He said, I'm meeting the electric company. He said, I met the electric company yesterday, met him.
Yep.
And I had another guy who recently called me before he met the electric company. And he called me back after he met him. But this guy he said, we're 3,800 feet from the grid. And he said, they came out and started talking about poles and the right of way. And he said, I don't want poles. He said, I want underground
Yep.
if we're going to the grid.
Right.
Well, underground to the grid in Bolivar Electric right now is $38 a foot.
Oh
For
my
200
God.
service.
Yep.
And that's you
Jeez.
digging the trench and backfilling it. That's them running the conduit and the wire.
But you have to dig it.
38 a foot. You doing the digging. And he's got an excavator. He'd already told me, he said, I retired out here. We're living in an RV off generator for the last year and a half while I built this house and my mom's house. So
Yep.
he's built 2 houses there, about 200 and some acres. Out in the, 186 in the middle of nowhere, out by Mercer.
Mercer. I know where Mercer is.
It's
I
the
used
middle
to
of
drive
nowhere.
a medical van, so I know that
you
area.
know where it is. It's kind of middle of nowhere too.
Nowhere.
And he's got 186 acres there, a long way from the power line. It comes to the road, but he's got a gate. And he said, we retired here. And so I'm like, this guy doesn't sound very
43
old.
years old.
I go out there and he said he's bought and flipped homes since he was 21 years old
Wow.
out in Colorado where he grew up. And he said in my 40, and since he started at 21, he had done 42 or 3 houses. He said when the number matched my age, he said, I'm done. And I'm like, holy cow. And he said, I've kept half of them.
Yep.
And it's passive income. And he said, and I built a trucking company in Colorado. And I've moved it here now to Mercer. He built it when he first got the land cleared. He bought an excavator, bought hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment, and started clearing land. He said it was just woods. Now he's got 20 acres cleared. He's got 2 acres cleared for solar panels. He says, is that enough? I'm like, you got plenty. You only need about 60 kilowatts for his 2 houses only, because he wants them off.
I'd like to have
Running the
part
grid is
of the
gonna be
lot
100.
beside us.
Running the grid is gonna be $100 grand for him. And he's like, I can spend $200 grand, get a 30% tax credit,
Hi, baby.
be out 140 and not have an electric
You
bill,
and
and be
Daddy's
independent
girl.
without being independent.
Yeah.
So he's looking for.
You
We
and
need
Daddy's
about 4
girl.
or 5 pallets.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know.
And he was funding it with selling houses.
Yep.
He said, I sell a house when I need to get more capital. I'm like, he must be nice.
Another thing I thought about doing after I finished the system I'm working on is I might replace the panels on my first system with larger panels.
Yeah.
Then I'll get
Just watch your charge controller maxes.
Yeah.
Watch you
Yep.
don't overmax those.
Yep.
Easy to do.
Well, I don't want to have
Yeah,
to
I
go
won't keep
underneath the house to shut things off and turn. I
No,
want to make sure
no,
that
no.
have it.
With the
Oh.
solar, you
Yeah.
can do it at the screen, or you can do. I don't think you can shut it down on your phone. I could do things that could
Nick
kill
can't do
somebody.
that.
But my inverter that I thought went bad used to have a wire running up into the house so we could see the voltage. It didn't go bad, and I
With the
replaced it
remote?
with one that don't have a remote, so I can't see the battery
Can't see the voltage now.
until I go down there and look.
Yeah, yeah, you won't be able.
Yeah.
You can see your voltage remote there
Yeah.
on your phone.
But yeah,
So
At
that's
least-
worth the money.
I at least want to get a 10 panel from you, and I'm gonna think about the solar thing,
Okay.
'cause, yeah.
Yeah, for the playground.
I'm so
I can
glad
get
we
you
came
a number
across
of
ya.
a guy that does these mini split installs. He's a veteran.
Okay.
I have not actually met him in
Another
person.
question. The other thing we're thinking about doing is getting an RV outlet put out in our yards.
You wanna do that?
Who would you recommend for being an electrician to do
No,
that?
I've got a guy that does it.
Do you?
Yeah, we can do that. I
'Cause
just
we're
did
thinking about
campground.
doing that.
I built a campground for.
Where?
Decaturville, at Ski Daddy's, behind Ski Daddy's. You
Where's
know where
that?
Ski Daddy's is?
It's out
It's on
on,
the other side of the river.
Yep.
This side of the river.
yep,
You go 13 south, not 13, 69 south.
yep,
Oh, okay,
Right
okay.
at Ski Daddy's. It has a boat in the air.
yep.
Oh, yeah, I
the
know what
boat-
you're talking
where
about.
the boat's in the air, Mio Miles restaurant.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
behind Mio Miles is a storage unit.
Yep.
We ran a 400 amp service on that storage unit and put 7 campsites out in back of it for the owner of Ski Daddy's. And we've got a USDA grant in for him to put a $200,000 solar carport on the store there.
Nice.
Which the USDA, I told you, they screwed us this year. I've got an 88% track record with writing grants and getting approval from
Yep.
USDA for my clients.
Nice.
Their businesses.
Nice.
And I've only done 2 of them since 2017 because the program had become, with no sellback really, it wasn't economics for business to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have the 5-year payback anymore. And so, but then this year they cover batteries, they raised it with all these green wasted liberal dollars.
Yeah.
They want to give the money away, but they raised it to 50% for businesses. And they begging people, please come put in for your grants. Please let us give you money.
Yeah.
Well,
Wish we had Brant.
and so I thought, this business, I will build some business off these grants. Let people
Right.
get some of their tax dollars back that they've paid in over the years. That's the way I look at it. And
Yep.
so, because the folks getting the grants have paid the taxes.
Yeah.
It's not going on homeless projects in
Yeah.
Memphis.
Going to illegal immigrants.
Yeah, or illegals, thank God. But anyway, and this was the first year they said they'd allow batteries. And solar without batteries doesn't make economic sense. If you, really. And so,
Unless you're doing grid tie,
which pure grid tie, what do you got?
I know,
Nothing.
you don't, because
You
the
just
power
got
goes out and you're
you
still
got
out.
a generator that's a 10, 20-year payback maybe.
Yeah.
And then at 20 years, what do you got? 20-year-old used panel.
Yep.
Unless it's actually running something or helping you.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they allowed it this year. And I put a grant porter in, starting with Ski Daddy's last December.
Yep.
First grant with batteries. Approved at the state level on January the 5th. I've known those guys for years.
Hmm.
And we've never had a problem getting a grant before. Usually about a 3-4 month turnaround. We get an email in April. Well, actually, I was like, it got to middle of March. I hadn't heard anything.
Yep.
So I contacted my friend at USDA and he said, let me look into it. About a week later, we get an email. You're approved conditionally. You may proceed with construction at your own risk. It's pending battery review. So this was our first time putting batteries up, and I'm like, oh, great. So May comes along. When are we going to hear on the batteries? Early June comes along. I send another message. When are we going to hear some? I should be installing this.
Yeah.
I'm counting on revenue for the summer
Right.
from the U.S. from these granted projects. And I had another one that was March 30th I put in for, who is a state representative, Mr. Chris Todd. Good man.
Yep.
Conservative, one of our Tennessee state leaders in the conservative movement. He's gotten some really bad press over connections to people that are linked to Project 2025, which big deal,
Yeah.
and so, but the press tried to eat him up in the primary. He had a primary opponent who's really just a rhino. He's a Democrat.
Yep.
He ran as a Republican against him, and he lost, and Chris Todd won. But Chris Todd was in the middle of this campaign for the primary, and the USDA, out of the blue, says, we want to meet at your